Hey guys, it's BrixKid. Welcome back for another video, and once again, I'm with my dad, Blockhead.
Hey everyone.
So what are we gonna be reviewing today?
Well, something came in the mail for you.
Ooh.
And I think you know what it might be. So do you want to open it up and see?
Yeah.
Do you have a guess what it might be?
Yes.
Yeah, you've been waiting for this, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what's inside, even though I know.
Okay, let's open it up then.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Okay, so what's inside there?
These are the new Sith Lego minifigures we ordered, but they're not actually Lego. They're knockoff Lego. And I'm really excited for these because these are Lego knockoff minifigures that I really want in actual Lego.
Yeah, these are characters that you really want the minifigs for your collection, but they're all pretty expensive minifigs right now, so we're not going to get them for you just yet, but we thought it would be really cool to check out these knockoff ones because you've bought knockoffs before.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of Marvel knockoff minifigs, which you lucked out and got pretty good ones. So why don't we spill those out and take a look, and we'll review each fig.
Yeah. First up is our knockoff Lego Count Dooku figure that we ordered.
Yep, so this is Count Dooku, first seen in Attack of the Clones, episode 2. He's a Sith Lord. What made you pick Count Dooku?
He just looked really cool, the original Lego version. So I was wondering what a knockoff one would look like.
Yeah, he's actually one of my favorite Sith Lords. I just like the fact that he's different from all the other Siths, where they're all borderline scary and very angry. He's very refined, almost classy for a Sith Lord, and I think that's a really good take. Plus, he's got a really cool backstory. He was Qui-Gon Jinn's master, so at one point he was a good Jedi. But yeah, you know what? So to talk about the figure, I mean, it looks good. The printing's good. It turned out good. You're risking, like we mentioned in the intro, you're sometimes risking getting bad paint jobs and printing on these. But I think this one turned out pretty nice. It's obviously not as nice as the Lego version. It's not as detailed. But it's nice. What do you think?
I really like this one. It looks not exact, but a little bit up there. I don't know if this would pass for an actual Lego minifigure, because how you can always tell on all Lego knockoff figures is the face. The wrinkles are always kind of orange.
Oh yeah. Well, you can tell too by the plastic. Anyone that's familiar with Lego, the minute they touch these and hold them, they'll know it's not Lego. They're a lot lighter too, so it's a lot cheaper grade of plastic. And they also don't go together very well. We had some trouble with a couple of them, and stiff arms and hands that don't fit properly. But you know, it's good nonetheless, and it literally for the price. These were, I think, $1.20 each, and that's Canadian. So they'd be even cheaper in the US, and shipping was nothing. It was another $5. So I think for all of what we're about to show, I think we spent about $21. So for you to have toys to play with for that price, I mean, we lucked out. They're all pretty good. So let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
Okay, so next up is Dark Ray. I keep calling her Darth Ray, but Finn keeps correcting me, and it's Dark Ray, but I like the sound of Darth Ray better.
Yeah,
even though she was never technically a Sith. I think you'd have to remind me, Finn. I think in The Rise of Skywalker, she has a dream that she's a Sith. Or a premonition.
She kind of has a vision of what it would be like in the future that never actually happened.
Oh, okay. So it was a cool design in the movie. I'm not the biggest fan of that movie, so I've only seen it once. So I need to refresh that. But it's a nice figure. Again, you can tell it's not Lego, but all the printing's there and good. The quality, again, to play with is good. And Finn, why did you choose this as a Sith to collect?
Because Lego never actually made a Dark Ray Lego minifigure. No.
Okay. So I guess it's original in that aspect.
Yeah. And with real Lego too, I didn't know that you could do this. You could put 2 lightsaber hilts in the binocular pieces.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember that in the movie. She has a lightsaber that flips open. So they used a knockoff of binocular pieces and put her lightsaber together. Very nice.
And you can switch the binocular piece with a double-edged lightsaber piece.
Okay, let's see that. Oh, okay, so then they gave us another hilt so she can open up her lightsabers, basically, and fight with a dual lightsaber. So that's cool. She's a nice fig. And a really nice design. I'm sure at some point Lego would probably make one of these. But we'll see. Okay, let's see what's up the next one.
Yep. Okay, so next up is ASAJJ Ventress.
Very nice. This is actually one of my favorite characters from the Clone Wars cartoon series. She was Count Dooku's apprentice. That's right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was Count Dooku's apprentice, becoming a Sith. So she was a Sith. I don't know if her training was complete, and she had an interesting storyline that I read was supposed to continue before the show got canceled. They had some plans for her, and I think it continued into a book called Dark Apprentice. I'd have to look that up, but they did tell her story in a novel after the Clone Wars, which I think she does return to the light side in that book. But you can look that up, Google ASAJJ Ventress, and they will give you all the details. But she's a very cool design character on the show. She was one of my favorite villains for sure. And I've seen the Lego version, and I think this is pretty close to one of them. Again, she just suffers from the same problems as the other figures, just you can tell that level of quality is a lot lower. But she's got very nice printing, and I think it's an overall good figure, Finn.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the Lego one, the real Lego one, has it too, but back head printing.
Yeah, that's nice. We'd have to look. I've seen 2 different versions of the ASAJJ Ventress figure. There's 2 different ones that I'm aware of. There may be more, but yeah, I'm not sure if the one that looks like this has head printing. But yeah, overall a pretty decent fig.
Yep.
All right, our next Sith up is Darth Malgus. Now, Darth Malgus is a character I'm not too familiar with. I just know that he's from the Knights of the Old Republic video game, and I'm sure he's appeared in comic books and other stories, but I never played that game. I'm not a big fan of turn-based video games, so as much as I love Star Wars even back then, I just couldn't get into the game. But they are remaking it, so we'll see. Maybe we'll dive into it again now that you're around with me, Finn. So what made you choose this figure?
What made me choose this figure is I was scrolling through knockoff figures that I would want to get, and I saw this, and I immediately thought I really wanted this. It is a really cool minifig, and it looks pretty close to the one that Lego actually made.
Yeah, so Lego did make a Darth Malgus figure in, I think it was 2012, and I believe it came with a ship. I think they made a Sith starfighter, and it came with 3 minifigs. So I don't think this figure, again, that's why it's so expensive to collect the Lego one, because it's a pretty rare figure, and it's been years since they made one. But again, pretty good printing on this. Same quality as the rest, but looks good. It'll be a good play toy for Finn.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's next.
Yep. Okay, so next up is Darth REVAN or Darth Raven. We haven't played the game. I'm pretty sure this character is in the same game as Darth Malgus, which we haven't played yet. Yeah,
it's Knights of the Old Republic. I do have it on the Mac, but I haven't played it, and I never played it on consoles. But yes, he's a very popular character. So he must be good in the game. I think they're probably bosses that you come across in the game.
Yeah.
But it's a very cool looking figure, and I've seen other artwork of this character, and he is a really cool looking Sith. But again, I'm not familiar with his story. But a pretty good figure overall. So Finn, why was he one of your Sith picks?
I really liked this one because this, I don't think, looks like the one that Lego actually made.
Yeah, there was one, they made one in 2014, and I believe it just came in a poly bag of just the figure, collectible.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the circumstances around it, where you were able to get this figure, but again, you can get it on, on the different collectible websites, but he probably goes for a pretty price. I think the last I saw for one in the bag was over 200 Canadian. So I think we're good with our $1.21 for now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Let's see who's next.
Yep.
Okay, so next up is KYLO Ren from The Rise of Skywalker with his repaired helmet after he smashes it to pieces in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
This is probably, so KYLO's not technically a Sith, and I looked this up because I was curious. So he's never fully trained as a Sith or practiced the Sith arts or religion. He was more of a dark force user, or I guess you'd call him a Sith wannabe. But this is probably my least favorite of the figures, just because his helmet doesn't look that great, and it doesn't look that accurate. The face printing's pretty good though, but he doesn't have a hairpiece, so I don't think you'd want to take his helmet off and leave it off. It would be nice to have a hairpiece for this figure, but yeah. What are your thoughts on it, Finn?
I like it, but same thing that you said. The helmet mold isn't great.
Nah.
Like, the mold is, but you can see his eyes. They're just kind of droopy. If you look closely, though, the helmet does actually look kind of better, because the droopy part is actually not connected to the eyes.
Oh yeah, it's just the paint under the eyes, so that could have been fixed with some more silver paint, or to give it more of a visor look. But again, I just remembering his helmet, I don't think this is a very good, accurate portrayal of that helmet.
Yeah, it's kind of wide.
The Lego one is much better. But again, so you chose him just because he's Kylo Ren, right?
Yeah,
you like Kylo Ren.
Yeah, and we don't have a KYLO figure yet.
No, not yet. We don't.
Because we kind of missed all the sets that came out with him in it.
Yeah, you were of a much younger age when those movies came out, so you were a little too small to start collecting Lego. But I'm sure they'll re-release some, and we'll probably eventually pick them up on Marketplace. Okay, let's see who is next.
Yep. So next up is Darth Maul. This is the Darth Maul from Clone Wars, the TV series that sadly got canceled.
Yeah, well, it had a good run, and they made Disney made a 7th season, which I'm sure everyone's seen, and if not, watch the 7th season, because it's probably one of the best of the series. But yeah, this is Maul when he gets his mechanical legs after he survives being cut in half by Obi-Wan Kenobi, which none of us saw coming at first, but his storyline is pretty cool, so it's good that he brought it back. Again, this figure, I think, it looks good. I've seen the Lego one, though. The Lego one's much nicer.
Yeah.
The legs, this figure was a real pain to put together. His hands didn't fit, and one of his arms didn't really pop in very good.
And that same arm, it's not even fully in, and if you try to move the arm, it'll just pop out.
Yeah, it's very stiff. Same with the legs. He doesn't go on his stand very well either. I could barely get the one foot on. But again, it's going to be a play toy, so hopefully he'll hold up. But again, nice depiction of the character, and everyone loves Darth Maul.
Yep, and also the helmet, the head printing.
His headpiece, yeah.
Yeah, the head printing does not look even close to accurate with the real Lego version.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'd have to compare it, but just by looking at it, it looks a little off. But the paint job's good. It's straight anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see who's next. We got one more.
Yep. So last but not least, we have Anakin Skywalker from Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. This minifigure
there's his little
is
ponytail.
Technically not a Sith, but we all know what happens.
Yes, we all know his
Fate.
Tragic fate.
The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
No, this is the tragedy of Anakin Skywalker. But yeah, so technically he is a Sith. He's just not a Sith yet. So is that why you included him on your Sith list? Yeah. And do you have an Episode 3?
Yes.
Yes, you have an Episode 3. You didn't have an Episode 2.
And I don't have an Episode 1 of Anakin either.
No, that's right. So these are all on our to get lists, or our want list. But yeah, this one, again, I mean, the printing's pretty good on it. To me, this one seems a little cheaper than the others, and we'll just show you because he has a double face. But if you look on the back, you can see the misprint.
Oh God!
On the face. Yeah,
that looks horrible.
So we've seen other YouTubers who've gotten fake Lego, and they've gotten much worse, where the printing's crooked,
and so they had a double chin.
Yeah, so for the most part, the printing and everything's pretty good on this batch. Anything else you want to say about Anakin?
Yeah, so I chose this figure just because I didn't have an episode 2 of Anakin, and soon after August 1st, which is the day all the Kenobi sets come out.
That's right.
I'll have an episode 2 of Kenobi also.
Oh, that's right, because
in his robe.
Yeah, because the Kenobi's Starfighter's coming out that day, and we'll probably pick it up. Okay, so that was it for the Siths.
Yep. So these are all the Sith knockoff Lego minifigures that we ordered. There are 8 in total, and I really like these. Some of them, like we said, the quality's
But overall, I think they're pretty good for what we paid for them. So Finn, how many bricks, let's rate these. So how many bricks would you give the whole order? We'll just rate them, not one at a time, but for the whole order, and the figures in general. So how many bricks would you give these?
I'd give these an 8.5 bricks out of 10 bricks.
Wow, that's pretty good. And I'm assuming you're just basing that on how much you're going to play with them.
Yeah. And how they would look on my Lego wall. That's
right. And they're filling in the gaps of characters you wish you had in Lego.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd rate them pretty high too for what they are. My rating's based on the fact that they're not Lego. So for that reason alone, I'd give it an 8.5 bricks out of 10 bricks as well. I think the printing on them is really nice. They look like the characters should look similar to Lego. I mean, we talked about the quality. It's not there in all the figures. It's cheaper plastic, and they probably won't last very long playing. But again, the whole order cost me $21 Canadian.
Yeah.
Which is roughly about $16 American, and that included shipping. So you can't really go wrong if you're missing some figures and you just want to fill in the gap until you can actually get the actual Lego figure. And I'm sure, BrixKid, you can probably attest to this. You're going to be playing with these a lot, aren't you?
Yeah.
So if you like this video and you'd like this type of content, and maybe you'd like us to review more of these types of things, please let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. I said like and subscribe.